Alright, lately Bitcoin's been hitting a lot of all-time highs. So in this video, I'm going to answer the question real quick. What is Bitcoin? Alright, first off, a lot of time, Bitcoin is a specific type of cryptocurrency, but sometimes it's used just as a generic word for cryptocurrency. Kind of like people will say, like, well, the Chinese dollars. They're not actually called dollars. Canadian dollars, I think, are called dollars, but whatever. In this video, I'm going to talk about all types of cryptocurrencies, not just Bitcoin. If you want to know more about specifics to do with Bitcoin, hit me up and I'll gladly answer those questions. Alright, first off, how Bitcoin works. Let's say you and your friends go out to eat and you forget your wallet. One of your buddies picks up your meal. You go out to eat later, you buy one of your buddies, you pay him back by buying his lunch, but this guy over here, he doesn't have any money this week, so one of your fourth friend pays for his. And you guys are doing that all the time, and it starts getting confusing who owes who what money. So you start writing it down, keeping track of it. That's a ledger. All Bitcoin is a ledger, and that lets you do this transaction between, like you would with your friends, with people that you've never met and don't know. And you deal with these ledgers all the time in the real world, like bank ledgers. That's how, when you swipe your debit card, works the same way, only the banks do all the processing. We'll get to who processes Bitcoin in a minute. But basically, and it's called blockchains. So basically, a person creates the first Bitcoin, writes it down. I have one Bitcoin. Puts it in a plastic box, sets it on the table. Everybody can see that guy's got one Bitcoin. I give half a Bitcoin to Bob. You write it down, put it in another clear plastic box, put it on top. Bob gives half a Bitcoin to Steve. He puts that in a clear box, puts it on top. So you can see the chain of custody all the way through. But because they're locked in these clear boxes, nobody can go in and make changes to them. And that's how the blockchain works, simplified, and that's how it's safe to use. Now, and we'll get to how that first Bitcoin's created here in a second too. Now, ledgers. When you swipe your debit card at like Walmart or at the gas station, what happens is Walmart then takes all the transactions they've done that day. Let's say Citigroup. Everybody has a Citigroup bank account. Then they send one big thing to Citigroup and says their computer, Walmart's computer, sends one big thing to Citigroup's computer. And Citigroup computer goes, oh, okay, I need to pay Walmart $200,000 out of all these individual accounts. And Citigroup does that. Walmart's computer looks at it and says, yep, that's correct. Tells Citigroup's computer, yep, you did it correctly. And the two of them agree on it, and then that's how the money gets transferred. With Bitcoin, you don't have a bank, or they're all cryptocurrencies. You don't have a bank doing those transactions. What you have are people called miners, for the most part. There's a few other models, but let's just go with miners. These miners verify all the transactions. And what they get for doing that are two things. They get what's called a block reward, and they get a fee for doing all the transactions that are in that block. That little note that we put inside that clear box earlier, you gotta pay a tiny little transaction fee. And you pay the same transaction fees when you swipe your debit card, you just don't see them. With cryptocurrencies, they actually tell you they're taking the money. Usually, like in the case of Walmart, Walmart pays that, and they just jack the price up a little bit to cover all those transaction fees, and you don't ever see it, know about it, and they don't talk about it. And that's how the banks make even more money on top of all the other ways banks make money. Alright, Now what the miners are doing is they're verifying all these transactions. And what they do to verify the or to earn the right to verify the transaction is they solve a really difficult computer problem. Really hard math problem. And then all those math problems, or whoever solves it first, gets to verify the block. And gets the block reward, plus, or gets the fees, and then they get the block reward, which is a new chunk of cryptocurrency added to it. And that's their reward for verifying all these transactions. Now, more and more processing power at these blockchains to make them harder, they have simple artificial intelligence in them that makes solving that math problem harder and harder all the time. That's why you can't mine Bitcoin on your phone and be profitable. You need a giant room full of computers. But the main thing to remember of this short video is the sharing money with friends and the ledger. So you and all your friends write down your notes. That's basically how Bitcoin functions, that you need to worry about if you're going to get into Bitcoin, using it, and stacking the clear boxes. I like that metaphor I heard on another show. I'm also going to include a link in this video in the notes to a video done by, our series of videos done by Dashcoin. The first 3 go into a lot more detail about what I just covered, and the last 3 are specific for Dash. Still 15-minute videos each, somewhere around in there. Well, have a great day, and thanks for joining me on the journey.